What's up, party people? It's Keys Dan with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do you go? DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote. And maybe you can have me. Yeah, me at your next event. I like to party with the people. All kinds of events, video dance parties, and karaoke jams have been the things that I've been doing most often, at least in the recent memory. This week's who's on the program today? Okay, today on the program is Linda Cortissone. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. She is of the Lalì musical project, and we're going to get to find out a little bit more about Linda Cortissone in the next few minutes. So stick around for that. This week's shows, yes, this portion of the program is where I would put this week's shows, public or private. Due to the novel COVID-19 coronavirus, I have no public shows, no private shows. Boo. So, yes, we have podcast. We get to talk to people from all over the world. And today, we're talking to Linda Cortissone. So without further ado, let's get on Skype and call Linda Cortissone now.
Hello.
Hello, Linda Cortissone, please.
It's me, huh?
It is you. All right. It's Keys Dan with the What Makes You Famous podcast. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much. And thanks for inviting me on your show.
Yes. Well, where do you find yourself today? I'm in Conway, Arkansas in the US of A. Where do you find yourself, Miss Linda? And am I pronouncing the last name properly? Cortissone?
Cortissone.
Cortissone.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe that's a little hint of where you are. Tell the people.
I'm from Italy, so lockdown still on from our side at home now. And that's it.
Just outside of Rome, Italy?
No, well, actually in the northwest.
Oh, okay. So we're on the boot, I guess, just around the top of the boot.
Exactly. If you look at the boot on the top left.
So born and raised in Italy.
Yes.
Well, let's dig into it. Tell the people a little bit about you. You're doing the Lalì. What is it? What's the name of the music project? Say it.
Lalì project. Yes, it's a new project that actually I started a few months ago. But the name is from a nickname that some friends of mine gave me when we were teens. And I decided to use this because it's quite simple and funny at the same time. And this project is actually something completely new because I came from the rock side of the music, let's say. So some first albums were released in the past with some bands. And now I decided to take all the songs that I never had the chance to work on and just throw into the pot. I don't know how to say it in English, but
Your English is much better than my Italian. I will let you know that to no end, of course. Now, I was perusing your Facebook, and I did find some pictures. And if you'll notice behind me, there's a lot of pictures going on of you and your various projects. And it's just, you are a rock star, but it looks like you're splitting off into electronica. Is that the genre that you're breaking off into?
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm trying to. Let's say that I love music 360 degrees. So the idea was just to open another door and see what happened.
I like the sound of that. I think that music is wonderful. I listen to all types of music. I get to DJ at a lot of different weddings, and one of, of course, talking to someone from Italy, I'm thinking about the Italian weddings that I've done in the past, and I remember that the music was so good, the people were so happy, the dancing was incredible. I remember that, just smiling faces, smells of good food. When you think of Italy, you think of these things, and I've never been outside of the United States. All I can gauge upon is the music, the food, the people that I've seen in pop culture. I mean, how much of this is true? Miss Linda.
Well, that's absolutely true. Italian people you really loves to have fun, to enjoy life, to enjoy good food, to enjoy moments, music, other people dancing, and yeah, that's something that belongs to us for sure.
Now, I'd be remiss if I wouldn't talk about what's happening today as we speak in April of 2020. There are problems around the world, especially in Italy at this particular moment in time. How are things going with the novel COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic? We've heard such horrific things about what's going on in Italy. Tell the people, Miss Linda.
Well, yes, I think that there has been some kind of miscommunication, but that's my perspective, because actually what's happening and happened in Italy is more or less the same that happened and is happening all around the world. Unfortunately, I would say the point here is that we have a lot of old people and actually some little issue considering the numbers of places available in the hospitals. So that's maybe the reason why Italy suffered so much in this first phases of the coronavirus spread around the world. And yes, we are actually in a lockdown since the beginning of March, and things are going better and better. So we really hope that the situation will little by little improve. And we cannot say that everything is going to go back to normality, I would say. I don't know if it's correct. Soon, but again, little by little, as I think in all the rest of the world, we will take our lives back.
Well, I appreciate.
Let's say that.
Yes.
I would say that in the meantime, we try to do our best not to get bored and make some music and sing on the balconies and, let's say, Italian style.
Absolutely. And I appreciate that. Thank you so much for shedding a little bit of light from your perspective, Miss Linda, because we do hear things, and, my perspective, and I'm, my very limited knowledge of medical is I stay away from people. I'm not shaking hands. I'm being mindful, but I don't think it's going to get me. And I appreciate that it has gotten some, but I don't think it's going to get most of us. I hope everybody's all right. All right. Now that we've got that through, we know what's happening right now in the world. Let's take it back to a little baby Linda. Where did baby Linda start off as a young girl, and how did you come to be where you are today? I mean, who got you into music, and when was this?
Big question. That yeah, actually, as far as I remember, I always played something. I mean, when I was really, really young, a kid, I used to have some uncles of mine that has a piano. And every time that I went there, I just used to sit at the piano and start just making some noise and whatever it was. But I had a passion for the bass, for the electric bass. So I started, let's say, playing bass in the classical rock band, garage band, and just playing in the nightclubs here around and so on.
When was this?
Then,
how old were you?
Excuse me?
How old were you at the time when you started playing piano and then bass?
Piano, I remember that I think that I was 9 or 10 when I received my first piano, but my problem is that I love too many things. So I just play a little bit of piano and then move to something else and then to something else and then to something else. So I was never really practicing as much as I would. And then I decided to start with the electric bass and then again just playing a little bit, then sing because I used to sing as well. And then that something like this, you know. And then in 2007, I remember there was my first live performance in a very small town here around where I live, and I was so exciting. It was really my first time on the stage, and I still remember it because I think that when something really passionates you, it's something that then belongs to you for all your life long. So yeah, and now let's change again, you know, and try to see what happened with the piano and some electronical basses.
Oh, I like it. I like it all. Of course, every genre of music. I've grown up through the years myself, playing music at different radio stations throughout the country, mostly in South Florida, in the United States, and also in Little Rock, Arkansas. Two very different regions of the same country, this big country of ours, you know, where South Florida is a melting pot. It's so many different people, so many different diversities, flavors, between Italian and myself. I'm half Cuban, I'm half Irish. So that culture came in, and there's a little bit of Italian in me somewhere. So I know that I got that culture in me. I know that there was a relative that cooked a lot of Italian food for me growing up, which is why I'm such a big boy right now. I eat too much Italian food, too much pasta. But I digress. You know, we're talking to you, and we're finding out more about, you know, how you came to be. You started playing piano. Were you good at the piano, or was it something that you did not excel in and you said, no, let me go with the bass? And that is something that you got to put to good use.
Yeah, no, actually, the point is that I don't think that I'm good in the meaning that I would like to give to the word good in anything, actually. I never studied really music. It's just something that I do. I don't know how, but I'm lucky, I guess. And I'm starting now, studying a little bit more and practicing a little bit more, because when I started playing, actually, I was also, well, not when I was a kid, of course. I was studying, but like all the kids. But then I started working, so my spare time was really few, and then I really had to just focus all the efforts in the rehearsal times, and that's it. So I never practiced a lot, and I really regret it, because that's something that I feel I'm missing. But yeah, I'm just trying to improve myself now. I think it's never too late to improve yourself. So just starting again now to play a little bit more the piano, and play a little bit more the bass. And who knows, maybe when everything is going to finish here, take some classes. I mean, professional ones, so I can say that I studied once for all.
So no formal classes in school. You never took one lesson.
Well, in school, yes, a little bit. Actually, we were used to play chess, so it was funny. And during the music classes, so yes, I would say yes, but not the kind of lessons that I would have loved to.
Chess I always thought of chess as such a smart game. I play chess. I know how the pieces move, but there's no way I can think ahead. Oh, I'm going to beat this person in 8 moves. Oh, I've got you in 12 moves. How good at chess are you?
No, not that much again. I mean, I when I was a kid, yes, I said that during the music classes, and when we were used to play chess as well, I was good in the class. I think I was the number one among the females. But yes, then I just won my father once, so I cannot say that I'm good. But
Well, that says a lot about you, Linda Cortissone. That says a lot
oh,
about you.
that's perfect. That's perfect.
Cortisone. Okay, well, good.
Yes.
That says a lot about you. If you're going to do something, you're going to do it right. You're going to excel. Yes, you probably should not have been playing chess while you were trying to study music, but if you're going to be a chess player, you might as well be the best chess player, and that's what you did. You beat all the kids in school, or at least all the girls. You qualified it a little bit. So what other extracurricular activities did you do in school?
Well, in school, I would say, I should say, pay attention to the teachers, but that's not the answer. So, that sports, I always practice sports. I love hiking, I love
Oh,
nature, I love climbing. I used to play football when I
oh,
was a kid. And now it's more like just walking and that's it. I have a motorbike.
oh, wow. Okay, how long?
Nothing new. Yeah, just to say something cool.
Yeah, what kind of motorbike do you have? I looked on your Facebook, and yes, in the header there is a big giant motorbike. Of course, you're not on it. It's a picture of the motorbike on the side of the road. What kind of
Yeah,
motorcycle is that?
that, that's my baby. It's a Kawasaki Vulcan S.
It sounds fast. What's the CCs on that one?
650. Yes.
That's a big bike for a little girl. What do the boys say when you go down the street in that on that motorcycle?
I have to say that boys are fascinated about a girl driving a motorbike. That's funny.
It is. It is. It's a delight. Do you belong to a club or do you ride alone?
No, I just ride alone. I just like it. It's like playing like music. I just like it, and I try to do it.
Is that your main source of transportation?
During summer, yes,
So how do you
as much
fit
as I can.
how do you fit your guitar on the back?
That's the problem, of course. As much as I can, it's because I cannot always use the motorbike to move.
That's true. See, we're just getting to know you. This is what I like about podcasts is I get to know people from all over the world, and you're getting to know a little bit about me, but mostly I want to know a little bit about a lot about you. We have time. I want you to give people stories, your ideas, your views on things. How is life in a small town in northern Italy? Are you close to the water at all? Do you go do water sports or?
No. Actually, we are halfway from the mountains and from the sea. So let's say that logistically speaking, it's a very good place.
Yeah.
The
That's a
the
very
best
nice geographic location. Do you spend time in the mountains or do you spend time in the sea?
Exactly. I can choose. I mean, in an hour and a half, I can be in the mountains or I can be at the sea.
So
So
where do
that's,
you find more inspiration, Linda?
I would say mountains.
Wow, you climbing mountains, hiking, because you did mention that you like to hike a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I can, I like also alpinism, but I cannot go again, as much as I can, as I would. Sorry, my English. It's 2:45 in the morning here, so pardon my English and my.
Well, I appreciate you so much for being on the program. I know it is quite
No.
quite
Thank you,
late
thank
there,
you.
but I do want to make sure that people know, about who you are and what music you're doing. Because can the people find the music that you made as a rock star, or are you, leaving that behind and just concentrating on the electronic music?
No. Everything is open, of course.
Everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, they can find something. Actually, there's only one EP left on Spotify and Apple Music or iTunes, and the name of the band is Alice in the City.
Ellis in the City. Look them up. I will find them. Hopefully I can get some of their music and I'll put it on radiowhat.com. Oh,
I would love to. Thank you. We will be more than glad to have some songs of ours on the radio.
now,
So,
do you record in English or in Italian or both or a combination?
okay, both. But that EP is in Italian.
I like
The,
it.
the, the very first one was in English, but we closed the agreement with the label, so we cannot just use that songs, and so we need to re-record them. But it takes time, of course. And these ones are available on the digital stores and every kind of Spotify's and so on. Are in Italian and we're a kind of experiment because we love rock, as we said, but there's not that much rock in Italy and not a lot of rock bands that used to release songs in Italian. So that was a kind of experiment using the very strong rock bass, let's say, but with the Italian lyrics.
See, now Linda, you've hinted at it. Some of the pitfalls of being with a record label. Yes, they can push your music far, but now they own your music. And the only way that you can get your music back is to re-record it. And that's what you're doing right now, right?
No, not right now. That's what we will do as soon as we can because my, let's say, partner is living outside Italy.
Okay.
So it's quite difficult for us to just catch up and decide to re-record the songs. The album contained 11 songs, so it's quite a long work. And we just need to find time to work even better than what we did in the past on that one, and maybe just really, I don't know, maybe release something new. This project on the other side is just gathering all together all the songs that I just created in the past and I couldn't use because it was not related to anything that I was doing in the past. So this is just a collection of everything that comes into my mind, and I try to shape them and give them a new life and see what happens.
Well, one of the nice things about the internet is you don't even have to be in the same country to work on projects together. I was talking to a gentleman who plays guitar in Australia, and his bassist is in the Middle East, and his drummer is in Germany, and he puts all that stuff together. This is something you could do with electronic music too, where you get little bits and pieces from all over the world, and you mix them all together. Now, do you have a recording studio in your room in your house that you have access to that you can put it all together?
No, I just have few instrumentation and I just go to a friend of mine that is a producer and has his own studio and is a professional. So I used to go there. I used to, because now I cannot, but to just send him the music so he can keep it working and we can keep on working together on this.
Now,
just to give some quality.
Yeah, for relatively little money, you can get a computer and a good enough microphone, or not even a microphone. You can do it with using some kind of a recording tool, like I guess Fruity Loops, and I guess and I don't even know what kind of software are you using to make electronic music these days.
That's what I'm doing. I have some softwares and I use them to just, let's say, produce as much as I can and to adjust as much as I can all the levels and then send everything to this guy to give the finest details because I cannot, because I haven't studied it and I'm just a brand new one in this kind of world. So I do my best as much as I can and then see what happens next with his help, of course.
Now, I have a feeling, Linda, you in no time, you will be able to study on your own, watching YouTube videos, reading some books, maybe looking at software tutorials. In almost no time, you will be creating your own things, your own electronic music. Now, do you do the vocals as well? Do you kind of vocalize with the electronic music yourself?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Some of the songs have also lyrics, and so it really depends on the song. Yes, but again, I still have to improve my instrumentation ear, since it's something really new, because I decided to just move on with this project in at the end of 2019. So that's why I haven't really and so on, and everything is ongoing now. I'm just at the very first stages, and I keep on moving. The point is not to stop. Just keep
Well,
on doing things, keep on improving, keep on making stuff, and keep on working.
Well, Linda Cortissone, I'm so glad that we're talking right now, finding out more about the Lalì project, the Lalì musical project, we're on the ground floor. I was looking for some of the music, and I could find maybe like little hints of the music. I really couldn't find any of your things out there on Spotify or any place else. I went to your let's see, I went to your Twitter and your Instagram, and there's little bits and pieces of the music out there. Are there any full songs that people can find in your electronic?
Not yet. Not yet, unfortunately.
That's what it is. Okay, I was looking for things to listen to, but in preparation for this, and I just realized we're on the ground floor of a brand new project, something for people to look forward to. I mean, how do you want people to respond to you, or to connect with you, or find out more about this Lalì project that you have going on?
Just stay posted, and stay tuned, as we used to say. I don't know if it's used actually in English, but stay tuned on the project, because a lot of news will come up soon, I hope. And the idea is to keep on releasing music quite often, because that's the point. I have a lot of songs that are just they're just waiting to be released. So I really would love to have people listen to the music and give me their feedbacks, their comments, critics, whatever. I mean, I'm open to everything, because of course it's a matter of feelings. So it depends on what they will feel when they will listen to the songs. So I'm fine.
So
But
let
just listen to them and let me know.
Yeah, so let's go into that. What is the feedback that you've had from your family and your friends? Do you have family that's close to you that's been giving you ideas of, what do they think about this? Your mom and dad, or maybe brothers and sisters?
That's
What do they think about that?
that's funny. That's fun, because actually my father is very rock and roll side of the music, and my mother is exactly the opposite. So when I had them listen to one of the first songs that I prepared, I finished, I had my father saying, "Oh yeah, that's nice, relaxing one, very different," and my mother, "Oh, finally you are doing something that I like." So
That's great. I mean, I'm glad that you have them around that they can give you some kind of feedback. Now, when you say your mom's the complete opposite of rock and roll, classical music, what is she listening to?
no. I would love not to talk about this, because it would be embarrassing. My mother tastes, in fact, of music that cannot be. No, thanks for the question, but I'm not going to talk about that.
That's probably a good idea. It's, stay on the good side. I know. I'll put my mother under the bus now. When she used to try to sing to me, I would say, "Please don't sing to me. Don't do it." I love you, Mama. See, I said it. I love you, Mama.
Hi, Mom.
Okay. All right. Well, that's where we are up to now. You're in this brand new project called the Lalì Project. People can find that pretty much everywhere. But, what are your plans for the future with this? Are you going to be DJ Tiesto and work on stage with the laser lights, or, where do you want this electronica to go? Is it going to be Lalì on stage in front of thousands of people?
Well, on stage, I love to wear my bass and sing. That's the other side of of me. This project is going to, that's the idea, it's going to say something, let's say, in the backstage. So producing music, releasing music, keep on doing this kind of things because I love to just create music. And that's it. I mean, I really start creating songs and writing songs, sorry, since I was very young. So that's something, as I was saying, that just belonged to me. So I will just keep on doing this and see where it brings me. I'm just really love to do this. And I will do my best to make some very good stuff. I mean, qualitatively speaking, I hope that this will be appreciated by people as well, of course. I hope that it will transmit some emotion. I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was really, really glad because while he was listening to one of the draft, let's say, of the songs that I hope to release soon, he was saying that this was really, he was really liking it. It was, no, sorry, it's not English. He really liked it because it was reminding to memories in the past. So it was not like thinking about the song and think about that moment, but the song bringing him back to a moment. And that was really something say, if I can do something like this with a song or give people some emotion with something that I create, that's something amazing for me. So that's just the aim of the project. Just make some music that I hope people will enjoy and bring some emotion, some feeling, whatever it will be.
That is absolutely something wonderful that a creator can do. When you get that feedback, you've put this out into the world, and the best thing that someone can do is tell you that they appreciated it, that they got a memory, got a feeling, a joyful feeling, whatever kind of feeling, really. I mean, depending on whatever you're trying to create, but it brought them to a place that meant something emotionally to them. And that's something that you could do as a creator, and you already have done. That has to make you feel so good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, exactly. That's the point. I mean, it's always an exchange of feeling and emotions. It's like vibrations and energies. And that's what I hope to be able to do with this project and with all the music that I will be able to do. I mean, I think that that's the goal
Oh
in
yeah.
making music.
Oh, you know this, and
That's it.
and just what your friend said, the music, it took them back to a different time. Music is timeless, and it spans across languages. There's so many cultures have come together with music and dancing and just having fun, and you've already mentioned it is the Italian way, and I think I'm talking with my hands more than like the stereotypical Italian that we hear about here in this country. It's talking with your hands, but I've always
That's
done
true,
that.
actually. We
Hey.
used to talk with our hands. I was, I was. I don't know the English for it. Defensing during my university final test. I don't know if it's correct, or I was discussing my thesis. And I remember that before sitting in the room in front of the commission, my friend told me, "Okay, so now please put your hands into the pocket." So not to use all the hands when you start talking about your thesis. And I remember that the first thing that I did was exactly the opposite. So I started moving my hand, and I just stopped and say, "Oh no." And I put my hands back in the pockets, and I start again talking, and that was quite funny.
Yeah,
But
you
yes,
sometimes
we
you have
used
to
to.
express your emotion with your hands. It makes you feel something, and I can appreciate that so much. I'm Cuban, so the Latino in me, it gives me that flavor as well. My whole family is like this, and it's always a constant battle when I go to family reunions. They're talking over this one, and they're talking over that one, and there's always different conversations going on, and I could be part of 5 or 6 different conversations at the same time. It's family.
Yes, I can understand you definitely.
Well, are you
Yeah,
are you staying?
family lunch.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I know where we meet. I don't know in the Sunday lunches, and there's a lot of mess actually. So classical Latin style.
Very good, very good. I mean, do you have anybody at home with you, or are you stuck at home by yourself?
I am by myself, and my grandmother lives down in the apartment downstairs. So I'm looking after her in this month.
Well, that's good.
Uh,
I'm glad that she has you.
it
Go ahead.
tough.
I suspect it
No, no,
is.
sorry, I missed what you were saying.
No, I'm glad that she has you in this time of need. I appreciate that you're taking care of your grandmother. That's something that we hear about the Italian culture is the families do live in close proximity a lot of times. That it's part of the culture to keep your grandparents, your mother, your cousins, keep them close to you. It's part of it. I think that's what we've heard here.
Yeah, I think that the family structure is pretty strong here still. So yes, I mean it depends. Of course, I used to live outside, for example, and then I moved back to my place. And actually, it happened that I was here when everything happened, and I'm really glad that happened everything when I was here at home, because I really can be supportive to my grandmother and so to my family as well, because my father and my mother lives somewhere else. So that's definitely, I mean, a positive point in a very negative situation. But we always have to look on the bright side.
I believe so. I mean, I think that one thing that this is doing is it's bringing families together, finding out that we can live together. And I know I'm driving my family crazy. Whenever I get off this podcast, I spend way too much time with them, and I'm very happy that they're around. There's no one else in the world I'd rather drive crazy than my family. And family is very important. So thank you
Yeah.
so much. Linda Cortissone, the Lalì Project. How do they find you online?
Oh, they can find me on Instagram, of course, Lalì Musical Project, on Twitter, on Facebook. So far, that's it. Oh, well, I have a YouTube channel, but it's still empty. So just stay tuned again. I will make some good new stuff to be uploaded in there as well. So please just follow my project. Share your thoughts. Everything you want to say, just feel free to say it. Everything is always enriching, every kind of exchange, so please do it. And just please.
Well, I look forward to hearing more from you in the future. Linda Cortissone, the Lalì Project, Lalì Musical Project. I usually finish these things off with the last words for the people. If you want to give some words of wisdom that you've grown up with, some words of advice to people that are just coming into the music business, or just something that pops into your head at this moment in time. We can catch up at a later moment. But Linda Cortissone, the Lalì Project, the last words for the people are yours.
Okay, so people, this is definitely something extraordinary in our life, this moment. So just stay focused on the positive side of our lives, the positive things. Just be respectful for ourselves and for the others. Just respect rules and just keep on doing the things that you love to do, because everything will happen. There will be a very bright future for us. So if we all create the bright future, so it's on us.
Well, there you have it, party people. Linda Cortissone of the Lalì Musical Project, all the way from northern Italy to you. Fantastic. So good to hear from her. And this is the ground floor of a brand new project. She's a rock star. She plays bass in a rock and roll band. So she's branching off, getting her creative juices flowing with this brand new project, the Lalì Musical Project. I encourage you to find it everywhere. And pretty soon she'll have it all up on YouTube and Spotify and all the Apple iTunes. Make sure that you support that project. It's nice. It's nice when people create, but it's even nicer when those creations get the recognition and the support and the admiration that they deserve. So I mean, it's very scary for a creator to put something out there into the world, and you don't know what that creation, what the feedback is going to be. Here, I made this for you. What do you think? And hey, I mean, I'm so glad that she's one of these people that is going to be creating for you. Linda Cortissone from Italy, the Lalì Musical Project. Thank you so much for being on the program, What Makes You Famous. And please, don't hesitate to catch up with me as time progresses when those first offerings get out there. Electronica. I know you've been doing the rock and roll music out there for, since 2007 at least. That's when you first got up on stage. Yeah. So, looking forward to hearing more about you. If you'd like to tell your story, yes, I'm talking to you. I encourage you to give me a call at 501-470-6386 or email info@radiowhat.com. That's it for me. What makes you famous? It's Keys Dan. RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.